Hello and welcome back to the channel. So originally I wasn't planning on doing a video today. I wanted to see what the transfer window brought, whether we actually did bring somebody in, what players went out on loan or were sold, and then I was going to do a video just basically going over that and saying what I thought it meant for the future of the club. However, I saw this tweet by Ian Doyle and it for some reason it just didn't sit right with me. And I'll try and explain it now. I have attempted to record this video a few times, but I can't really articulate why it annoys me so well. So here we go, we're going to try it. So if you haven't seen the tweet, it's here, but I'll read it as well. So just got out of a Blood Red Live podcast. There are a lot of angry LFC fans on it who just hate FSG, and some would sooner the club was like Chelsea and Man United. Anyway, Stefan Bajcetic, season-long loan at Red Bull Salzburg, confirmed while we were in there. So obviously the Bajcetic deal, I'll go over that in a separate video. But the bit that annoyed me was the some fans who hate FSG and would sooner the club was like Chelsea and Man United. And the reason why I don't like this, now I'm gonna start by saying I'm not FSG out, but I'm also not FSG in at the same time either. I know it sounds like I'm kind of sitting on the fence, but I appreciate a lot of what FSG have done for the club. I appreciate where the club are now compared to where we were under, say, Hicks and Gillette. I appreciate that under their ownership, Liverpool have gone on to win a Champions League, a Premier League. We've gone on to be dominant in England. I appreciate pretty much everything about the club as a whole, but there are underlying issues I have with FSG. For example, I don't like the way they tried to trademark Liverpool. I don't like the way they tried to put us in the Super League. I don't like the prices for tickets and merchandise and all of those kind of things. That's what I don't like. And I'm obviously not happy about the ambition that's been shown. For me, I feel like FSG would be happy if Liverpool were just a top four club. And that's the end of the ambition right there. They don't want to spend that extra money to win the Premier League, because the money that they get back in reward money would be less than the amount they'd need to spend to get there. And so obviously I would like to see owners with more ambition, but ultimately I want just what's best for the club. I can sit here now and say that I don't want to have owners like Chelsea. I don't want to have owners where, you know, they have this constant cycle of selling their homegrown talent and then just bringing in they got now like 8 goalkeepers and things like that. At the same time, I don't want owners like Manchester United have got. They've had protests with the Glazers. They just don't like them. And obviously their fan base, with Ineos now coming in, they're a lot more positive about the future. I also don't want owners like Man City. Whilst, yes, it'd be fantastic to have that money. And I'm also not saying that Man City are guilty of anything, but with the alleged 115 charges, I wouldn't necessarily want that on the club. I actually like the fact that Liverpool won the Premier League the way that we did. I love the way that Klopp built his team and kept that core of his team for many, many years. I like the way Liverpool operate, but I think right now, if we're taking just this transfer window and not previous ones, although they do all kind of tie in together, this is Slot's first season in charge of the club. He's taken over from a legendary manager like Jurgen Klopp. And with this team, Klopp finished 3rd. So what are we actually expecting from Slot when we're saying to him, you're not able to go out and get the tools you need to do your job to the best of your ability? I understand we brought in Chiesa. I understand we've done some legacy planning for Alisson by bringing in Mamadashvili. But it was identified at the start of the window that a number 6 was the priority. So what happened to that number 6? We've just kind of given up on that altogether, when for the past 3 years we've been trying to get a number 6. Tchouaméni, Caicedo, Lavia. We've been trying to sign these players and we've failed every single time. And now we've gone for Zubimendi. He rejected us and we've just gone, oh yeah, we'll leave it. All the while we're weakening the squad by selling players. Now, don't get me wrong, none of the players we've sold I think are going to play in the first team. Van der Berg, no, I don't think. Whilst I think he's a good backup, he would probably be my 5th choice centre-back. Carvalho, I do like him as a player, but realistically, he's not going to get into the Liverpool team. But at the same time, we also said we were willing to sell Endo. So therefore, we must be able to strengthen on Endo at least. Even if the club came out now and said, no, we actually like Gravenberch as the number 6, I would be happy with that. But he needs a backup because he can't play every game at that number 6. There's a potential of injuries and suspension that's going to come throughout the season. And you as a club have already told us that Endo's not good enough. So there should be another option in there. So, and the words that's used in this, so sooner the clubs were like Chelsea and Man United. That's not the only clubs in the Premier League. They're not the only clubs in the world. What about a club like Arsenal, who had a fantastic season last season, and they've strengthened their team? What about a club like Brighton, who are always doing excellent transfer business? I think they're, we constantly recognise them as the best team in the transfer window with the signings they do. What about Brentford, who have strengthened their team, mainly by shopping at Liverpool FC, but they've strengthened their team? What about Ipswich, who have strengthened their team from coming up? What about all of the other teams that have strengthened their squads? We've just kind of left our squad, and we're hoping that Slot can work a miracle. Now, I do think Slot is a very good manager. I think that his style of play, with it being more controlled, will be able to eke out a few extra % in this team in terms of they won't be so tired coming towards the end of the season. But that doesn't mean that they still have the quality to challenge against a Man City, who are going to be dominant throughout the whole campaign, or an Arsenal, who were fantastic last season. And also, it doesn't mean, you can never budget for an injury. No one predicted that Van Dijk would miss as long as he did with his ACL injury, but there we go. So I just wanted to comment on that, and I wanted to sort of say, I don't like the way that we divide the fan base. Like, I didn't want to create a negative channel. I wanted to create a channel that focused on the football and the positivity about Liverpool and the reasons why I love Liverpool. But I also need to comment on the fact I don't like the way we're dividing the fan base as well. You're either FSG out or you're FSG in, and those two seem to not like each other. I think that what we need to do is remember that everyone wants the best for the football club. There will be times where I'm more FSG out, but that's only because I want the best for Liverpool. There might also be time, I'll be honest, when the season kicks off, I don't care about FSG, but I still want what's best for Liverpool. And all fans do, whether you live in Asia, or whether you live in America, or whether you live in somewhere in Africa or Europe or whatever. We all want the best for Liverpool. So I don't think we should be so quick to dismiss everybody because their opinions of how to get the best for Liverpool is different from yours. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. I know it was a bit waffly and a bit rambly at some points, so thank you for sticking with me. If you like the video, please do drop a like. It would be massively appreciated. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this situation are. Are you FSG in? Are you FSG out? What do you think about this transfer window? And what do you think about the divide in the fan base that seems to be happening at the moment? So if you enjoy the channel, please drop a subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I next go live. And until then, I will catch you all in the next video. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon.